From West Ashley Revitalization to 526 to Sergeant Jasper, City of Charleston Councilman Marvin Wagner talks to me one-on-one for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups.
Marvin, it is so good to see you.
All right, me too. I'm glad you're here.
Yes.
All right.
Let's talk about the late night soft closings.
Okay.
News 2 reports that the Charleston City Council gave final approval to extend the original pilot program that enables establishments currently allowed to operate until 2 a.m. the ability to remain open until 3 a.m. The extended program will run until January 31st next year. And I'm wondering why an extension, why now?
There are mixed reviews still, okay? The concept is an extremely good concept in that everybody at 2 o'clock run into the streets. Suddenly we have some that are in various stages of inebriation. What this does is it basically says, okay guys, there's no alcohol on the table, but we'll serve you our food menu, give you a chance to feel a little better before you go out, and oh, by the way, you're not going to be out there with everybody else. So it's totally optional both to the establishments and to the participants. Okay, we're not making them do anything.
Right.
We're giving them that opportunity to get something to eat and basically sober up prior to trying to go home.
Yeah.
You're going to leave a lot of the traffic on both the cab systems and the traffic, and make it a little bit easier for our patrol officers.
West Ashley Revitalization.
Yes,
the
sir.
Post Report reports that City Council is eyeing almost $70 million in improvements. And I'm wondering, what's your vision of that particular revitalization efforts?
As you know, West Ashley is basically old and tired. There are multiple facets to West Ashley.
Right.
The Avondale section is getting a little bit of love now, and the little bit of revitalization there is very successful. If you go over toward the old naval base on the other side of North Bridge, that was for many years the bedroom community for the sailors and the ships and the shipyard. And it's now old.
Yeah.
The shipyard has been going for 20 years plus now, and the ships left with it.
Wow.
So now we have some older buildings, and even though they're somewhat old, they're still functioning very well. So the revitalization, I remember when Highway 7, Sam Rittenberg Boulevard, was 2 lanes in 1962, 61, 62.
Wow.
I remember when there was nothing but trees down Highway 7.
Wow.
Over, yeah, we're old. That section is very old and is in dire need of revitalization all the way to the mall.
Speaking of which, the LeGree Bridge Bike Lane proposal. The headline in the Charleston City paper read this, quote, West Ashley Bike Lane narrowly survived City Council vote. The City paper reports that your fellow council members, Gary White, Keith Waring, Dean Regal, Bill Moody, and of course Kathleen Wilson and yourself spoke out in opposition of it. I'm wondering what brought you to the conclusion of no?
Pretty simple to me. I thought we're of a democratic nature. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
Right now, there are 70,000 plus people on the West Ashley side of that bridge.
Wow.
We also have another 15, 18,000 on James and John's Island, hence Kathleen Wilson coming in, because when they ran this test, they measured only basically from the foot of the bridge to the other side of the bridge. But there's a thing called synergism. In other words, what you do at this point is going to affect everything behind it, which included John's Island, which included James Island, and all of the islands, and all of West Ashley.
Right.
Now, it takes an extra half a minute to get across from one end to the other of the bridge.
Right.
But what's that doing back behind it? look at the funnel, okay? And down here is the output of the funnel, and here, up here, is the input of the funnel.
Yeah.
Now, they're gonna reduce the output by a fourth, but it's not gonna do anything to traffic.
Right.
Except make my constituency and those that voted with it,
Right.
all normal, basically all West Ashley people that have constituencies out there, it's kind of strange to me that we would actually create a big problem for 70,000 people every single day of their life, when for the benefit of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000,
Right.
if it would have been on the ballot, there's no doubt how it would have come out.
Oh, yeah. Describe to the following in one word, Sergeant Jasper in one word.
Conundrum. In other words, there's pretty much two pretty good arguments, but where do you have to fall? This group wanted this group
Right.
has property rights
Right.
and zoning.
Right.
When it went to the judge, he fell in line with the property rights people.
Okay.
It's like that building has been there since 1949.
Right.
Okay. Most of the people that are objecting weren't born in 1949. Okay. Suddenly, they want to give it a facelift and make it an upscale building,
right.
bring it in, almost 70 years old building. And suddenly it's a problem. The groups try to get together and talk about it, and okay, well, gee, we have a problem here. We want a grocery store. They said, okay, we'll put you a grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh, then the second group says, wait a minute, no. We don't agree with them. We don't want a grocery store. We want more retail. We want more whatever, more apartment spaces.
Right.
We want more. And so it was an ever ebb and flow of information, and bottom line is we still have a problem with none of the groups agreeing.
5/26, as far as the extension deadline.
Again, I'm out of West Ashley. I am John's Island.
Right.
Absolutely, positively has to happen. Okay. If I take as a given that the infrastructure bank says no to I-526, what is my solution? And it's all over the place right now, and it's called the Johns Island Connector. What that would do is run from the end of 526 at Savannah Highway now over the River Road. What does that do for us? That takes all that West Ashley traffic, actually west of 526 where it is now, off the roads twice a day. That 3-mile stretch actually backs up at Clemson Experimental Station.
Right.
Every night, every day. Now, I live in Carolina Bay,
Right.
which is about another 3/4 of a mile up. I have to sit in traffic to get home at night.
Wow.
So it gives everybody another way on the island. Now, we go back to October. Main Road flooded.
Right.
Main Road is one of 2 ways on and off that island.
Right.
It's also the primary evacuation route.
Yeah.
So, 28 inches of rain, king tides, coupled with this thing that we can't see because it's kind of slow, called
Right.
water rise. What's the odds of that being blocked again? Because there are up to 120 king tides a year
Right.
coming and projected.
Right.
What if we have a catastrophic event? Those people can't get off Watermall,
Right.
Kiowa,
Right.
Sebra,
Yes.
Johns Island. There's no place to go. Johns Island Expressway at a minimum, that gives us another bridge, another 2 lanes coming on and off that island. absolutely essential from where I stand. I cannot see how anybody can be objected to that. The right-of-ways have been purchased.
Right.
Everything is good to go.
Wow.
Be just like, I don't know, these folks that are so adamant against it, if we do have a catastrophic event,
God forbid.
and somebody dies, which they definitely will, I mean, there's no way you can get off, somebody's going to die. First one that gets up, brings their hand, and say, oh, what a tragedy. Well, that's very disingenuous, and it hadn't happened yet, because they control the output right now.
Right.
And that is why I am so adamant that if not 526, build me another bridge, because the one that way we have off now is subject to flooding.
Wow.
Bottom line.
Well, Councilman Marvin Wagner, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this.
Thanks, Quintin.
Thank you.